Press and hold the center power button to power on the bike. Hold down the plus and minus buttons simultaneously to reach the settings menu. Scroll down and press the center button to select the battery lock page, and then press it once again to unlock and eject the battery. Place your hand below the battery to support it. Once the top end of the battery is disengaged, press the handle to release the battery and lift it out of the bike. Unwind the wire loom from the right side cables. With the bike inverted, turn the crank and shift the derailleur to the highest gear, which is the smallest cog. Remove the cable crimp from the end of the shift cable and then use a 5mm hex wrench to loosen the cable pinch bolt. Remove the shift cable from the derailleur. Use a 4mm hex wrench to loosen and remove the headlight pivot bolt. Remove the headlight from the bracket. Use a 2.5mm hex wrench to remove the bolt from the stem cable cover. Remove the cable cover. Remove the shift cable housing from the barrel adjuster on the shifter, and then proceed to pull out the shift cable until the end is reached. Use a 4mm hex wrench to loosen both of the stem clamping bolts. Remove the stem rubber grommet and then use a 5mm hex wrench to loosen the stem preload bolt until the stem can be released. Follow up by removing the headset dust cover, compression ring, and the upper headset bearing. Lift the fork and front wheel up and out of the frame. Use a 3mm hex wrench to remove the two bolts that mount the battery lock assembly to the frame. Use a 2.5mm hex wrench to remove the three bolts that attach the cable cover plate within the battery compartment. Remove the cover plate. Use a 3mm hex wrench to remove the two bolts that mount the terminal assembly to the frame. Proceed to pull the shift cable housing out from the head tube of the bike. Note, attaching the Park Tool internal cable routing tool before removing the housing can ease the installation of the new housing. Swap the shift cable housing with one cut to the same length. Use a 2.5mm hex wrench to remove the three ACU cover bolts. remove the cover. Insert the new shift cable housing through the chainstay access hole, into the battery compartment, and out of the head tube opening. Now, reinstall the fork into the head tube, ensuring the lower headset bearing is still in place. Guide the upper headset bearing over all of the cables coming from the head tube and press the bearing into place with the chamfered side touching the frame. Note, assembly grease added to the head tube can help retain the bearing during this step. Replace the compression ring with the opening containing the cables toward the front of the bike, as shown. Feed the cables through the opening of the dust cover and guide it back onto the head tube. While keeping the cables oriented forward, press the dust cover flush against the head tube of the bike. Guide the stem back onto the stereo tube and use a 5mm hex wrench to thread on the stem compression bolt. Continue to tighten the bolt until the stem is fully seated. Ensure the headset is properly preloaded while ensuring there is still good movement in the steering. Feed the new shift cable into the top end of the shift housing. Reinstall the shift housing end into the barrel adjuster of the shifter. Replace the ACU cover plate and install the 3 mounting bolts using a 2.5mm hex wrench. Ensure all 3 bolts are threaded in before final tightening. Position the terminal assembly in place and reinstall the 2 mounting bolts using a 3mm hex wrench. Organize the cables, align the cable cover plate to the mounting holes in the battery compartment, and reinstall the 3 mounting bolts with a 2.5mm hex wrench. Position the battery lock assembly in place and reinstall the 2 mounting bolts using a 3mm hex wrench. Reinstall the stem cable cover and mounting bolt using a 2.5mm hex wrench. With the cables routed into the headlight bracket as shown, reinstall the headlight and headlight pivot bolt using a 4mm hex wrench. Feed any cables back into the cable cover. Feed the shift cable and housing into the barrel adjuster of the derailleur. While holding tension on the cable, snug the cable pinch bolt in place and then install a new cable crimp. Turn the cranks and test the shifting performance of the derailleur. Make adjustments as necessary and ensure the limit screws are properly set. Replace the wire loom on the right side cables. With the bike upright, align the handlebars with the front wheel. Replace the rubber grommet and then use a 4mm hex wrench to tighten the stem clamping bolts and alternate between the two while torquing them to 8 to 10 Newton meters. Reinstall the battery by inserting the bottom first and pressing the top to lock it into place. Press and hold the center power button to power on the bike and test for proper function.